Right? I really like. Let me go. Let me go for
You
another.
really like it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
There's no bias because I love cornbread and French bread. Are you team cornbread dressing or regular stuffing? With it.
I'm team you.
So we're back to another battle of the sides, and today we're doing dressing versus stuffing. There's so much talk about which one is which, and today we're putting all the confusion to rest. As I've been saying, I'm here to help you make your Thanksgiving as less stressful as can be. Speaking of less stressful, let's hear a word from today's sponsor.
My husband and I run a pretty tight ship managing our big family with everything in between. But with Factor, we always have lunch or dinner on hand without wasting time. We can eat stress-free with Factor's delicious, ready-to-eat meals. Each fresh, never frozen meal is chef-crafted, dietitian approved, and ready to eat in just 2 minutes. We simply heat and savor all the good stuff. We're able to also skip the overpriced takeout trap. Factor is cheaper and way more delicious. With a weekly menu of over 35 options, there's always so much to choose from. Head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code 50OPMFAM to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first Factor box. That's code 50OPMFAM at factor75.com to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box.
And back to today's Thanksgiving business, dressing versus stuffing.
Well, I'm very excited to see what you got. And just so you know, you look amazing. Is your name Dina? I, I knew I was going to make you laugh for that. So, is this a part of the meals and plans?
So what you're trying to say is mise en place.
That's right.
So it's basically all the ingredients that we're going to be using today, all laid out so you don't forget anything. And the main ingredients are our cornbread, and I'm using French bread for the white bread. And these are supposed to be stale bread. So I've had them sitting out, dried out. You can tell it's really like dry and stale. And that's what you need for your stuffing because it's gonna suck in all the liquid, right? And so you want to make it as stale as possible so you don't end up with a mushy stuffing or dressing. So to make the taste testing fair for both dishes, we're doing the same base. And for the base, I'm using leeks instead of onions. I'm using bell peppers instead of celery. You can actually freestyle whatever vegetable you want, but traditionally you would do onions and celery, but I'm doing something different. The reason why I'm doing leeks is I want a milder onion flavor and something slightly sweet, and the leeks is going to give me that. I don't want to overpower the cornbread or the French bread because I want to really be able to tell the difference between the two. I'm also going to use some herbs and I'm keeping it classic. I'm doing thyme, sage, rosemary. A little seasoning goes a long way with this dish, and we're not trying to overwhelm it. So we're doing a little bit of chicken powder. You can do poultry seasoning if you want. We're doing some Italian herb seasoning to complement the fresh herbs that we have. We're doing all-purpose seasoning, garlic powder, and onion powder, all in little doses. Using one of my favorite sausages to use in meals, hot Italian sausage links. Don't ask me why, I just like it. And we're also doing chicken broth and some eggs. And I'm gonna share with you a trick in how to easily add the eggs to the whole mixture. One thing about leeks is it traps a lot of dirt inside of it, so you have to wash it thoroughly when working with it. We're just gonna cut off the ends and the green part. We're not gonna be using that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut it right down the middle and give it a good wash. Right down. Come closer, I'll show you all the dirt that's trapped. See that right there? You have to wash this.
Oh, wow.
Really? Yep. So I grouped the leaves together for faster cutting. And let me show you a simple trick in how to get the perfect knife work in the kitchen. So you're gonna go in with your left hand like a claw, keeping the middle finger in the front, right? And grab them. And you're gonna come in with your knife like so and start. This is gonna be like a resting bar for your knife and then go, right?
Yeah, I could cut like a professional man.
So this makes it easy. We're gonna give our leeks one more rinse just to make sure we don't have any dirt hiding in the corners or creases. Back. There we go. So we're heating up our pot. We're getting ready to melt down a stick of butter. And guys, it's the holiday, so invest in the good stuff. Just gonna cut them down in smaller chunks so it melts eat faster. Adding our wheat. Bell pepper. Next, we're gonna work on our herbs. For the time, we're just gonna pull the leaves down the stem.
Wow, the smell of the thyme.
So earthy.
Very. It gives a whole new meaning to down to earth.
We're also gonna rough chop some sage. And some rosemary. Just gonna pull it off the stem and put it chop it down. We're gonna group them all together and put them in the other mixture at the very end. That's when you want to add your herbs to any dish because it gives it its most flavor when you add it at the end. Our leeks and bell peppers have cooked down. We're gonna go ahead and remove the casing of this sausage and add it to the pot. I just made a slit down the center and like that and just unravel it Take out the sausage filling. Now, I have seen a lot of cooks do this part differently. They separately cook the sausages and the onions and the vegetables. But what I realized is, in order to really melt the flavors, I would rather do them both in the same pot and allow the flavors to marry. So, what we're gonna do, you can come closer and I'll show you. We're gonna move the vegetables to the side, to one side of the pot, like you would do when making fried rice, right? And we're gonna add the sausages to this side, right? And break it down and allow that to cook as well. Now we would want chunks of the sausages in our dressing, so we're not gonna break it up too much. We want it chunky. Add one more. Turn up the heat. The sausages are cooked through. We're gonna mix it together with the veggies and begin to season. Looking at the beauty.
It's gorgeous.
Allow them to marry and season them together. Not only is my take time efficient, it also allows the flavors to marry together. And we're also going to season them together, so it's just going to be perfect.
I understand what you
Yeah.
mean. So it's like one-time seasoning. You don't have to do it
Yeah.
individually.
Onion powder, garlic powder, all-purpose seasoning, Italian herb seasoning, some chicken powder for salt. Mix. Now this is a good situation right here.
It smells like I don't even. Sometimes I wish somebody makes a device that can really reproduce smell on the phone. This thing smells something else. Can I have this as part of my meals?
Yes, good. To finish it off, we're gonna add in our chopped fresh herbs. Turn off the heat and add half of our chicken broth. We're gonna cool it down with about half of our broth. And I'll show you why we need to do this step in a little bit. We're gonna add our eggs to the stuffing and the dressing to act as a binder when we go to bake it. And so to keep it from cooking when you add it to the sausages and leeks, you temper the leeks and sausage mixture so it cools it down. That way you don't get cooked egg pieces when you go to mix it with the filling, with the mixture. So we have here our stale cornbread, right? We're gonna crumble it up in chunks right into our baking dish. And I like to break it in chunks because when you go to mix it with the sausage mixture, you don't want it to break apart too much. I like it to have some shape and form, so big chunk. Now we're gonna add our sausage mixture, about half of this. Making sure it soaks all the good juices. So now it's time to add the eggs, but we're not gonna add them directly. We're gonna mix it with some chicken broth to make it easier to mix with what we have so far. Then we're gonna pour about half over the mixer. Okay, we're gonna mix it. And this should be good.
Shameless plug. The cookbook. Hope you got a copy. She's giving you all the information. Grab a copy because it has everything in it.
Yep. Okay, so back to what we were doing. For the stuffing, we're gonna cut our bread into cubes. Now you can tell by the way I'm cutting that this bread is stale. And that's what you need for good stuffing. We're gonna cut them further into cubes like so. Now if you want to dry it out further, you can toast it in the oven or air fryer. But I think I have a good enough stale bread. So.
That looks true.
Yeah, it does. Now we add our sausage mixture. I'm gonna mix it around. Next, we're going to add the egg mixture. All over. So we're done assembling both our dressing and stuffing. We're going to finish both of them off with some butter. This will help crisp up the top when it goes to the oven to bake. So same butter I used for the vegetables. Like I said, get the good stuff. It's the holidays, so you want to go extra special. More for cornbread. Get that crispy, rich brown topping. So at this point, they're both gonna go in the oven, which is set at 350 for about 45 minutes to an hour. We're gonna check for the top to crisp up and brown, and that will show how much it's done. So see you then.
Mrs. Chef OPM. You did good. Give it. Here you go.
Now we're all done and ready to taste test. This right here is our stuffing and our cornbread dressing. So I'm just gonna dig into the cornbread dressing first. Go for a center piece with the sausage.
Yeah?
No, I like cornbread and French bread the same, so there's no bias, right?
Okay.
The cornbread is really like prominent in this.
That's awesome.
You can still taste the sausage.
Okay.
And the fresh herbs. Bless you. Okay.
It's gonna be a toughie, huh?
Probably. Okay. Let's get some sausage on here as well. More sausage for me.
It's a preference
So,
issue.
If I had to choose, I would go with the French bread.
Well, that's bias. You like bread.
Well, I love cornbread too, but it takes over.
Okay, I get what you mean.
It takes over everything. Whereas the white bread, the French bread that I use, allows for everything to like meld together.
I get it.
Mm-hmm.
So the unity on that one is more prominent, and then the personalization, which is
Right.
Okay, got it.
So if you're a corn lover, if you love corn, definitely this will be your pick. But if you're really into wanting something that melts all the flavors together, right, with nothing overpowering something, then I see why white bread will be what to go with, right? I love this one.
Definitely, I can
really
tell.
love this one.
Now let me ask you a question. So compare the corn to the bread. When it goes into the turkey, which one is gonna take
So
more?
cornbread cannot go into the turkey.
Ew.
It's just a dressing because cornbread will sog up real quick if you stuff it into the turkey. Whereas white bread gives you the opportunity to like stuff it in. That's why it's called a stuffing, because you have that option to stuff it in the bread, right?
So it's more flexible.
Yeah. This is good. This is good. See, for Thanksgiving, I just do cornbread on the side, and not as a dressing.
Okay.
Because this French bread really allows the sausage, the vegetables, the herbs, and the seasoning and everything to come alive, right? I really like. Let me go. Let me go for another.
You really like it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
There's no bias because I love cornbread and French bread just the same. But I'm just saying, the cornbread is like too dominant. And you guys saw I used the same base in both of them. I did not cheat. I did not, yeah.
Definitely.
So yeah, the stuffing is a winner in my
Oh, well
my
done.
opinion.
For the audience out there, so you see the clear winner. Now you don't have to say much. This is You're Invited. The cookbook is available. Grab a copy. Ebook, hard copy. You got it.